Hi, hello to all the audience. It's my turn again with Brother Shen to do a show with you all. Brother Shen may have to wait a little longer, but I can just take your seat. Am I that short? No, it's been a long time. That's the way it is for you to be half a person. Oh, that's it. I asked Carmen to move over a bit, haha, and guess what? It actually moved over. It has already shifted. Hello, everyone. Is there anything specific you all want to know? I'm here to provide insights, especially about today's events, the current major atmosphere, and the overall state of the Earth. It's all about the state of the Earth. If you want to talk about anything, feel free to chat with us on the message board. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Connie. Hello, CYYY. Hello, everyone. Feel free to bombard our message board. Hey, just before the show started, I mentioned to all of you that if you have anything important to say or share, please post it in the comment section, as the world is in such a chaotic mess recently.
Where can I discuss it?
Haha, it's not our message board. If not, speak with mom and dad, especially since dad is present. Have you celebrated Father's Day?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, it's very obvious that you are not interested. I don't know about you. Tonight, the Hang Seng Index tightened by 23,237 points, which is a drop of 472 points. In fact, it's only about 5 points today. The Earth's condition is very bad. The Earth is in a state of collapse in an instant. Why? I want to tell you about the Earth because it happened last week. We all observed the Dow Jones Industrial Average's performance on Friday. In short, all the major U.S. indices have significantly plummeted. Well, it's widely recognized that due to the escalating tensions and deteriorating situation in the Middle East, along with various complex geopolitical issues, oil prices have surged sharply while gold prices have experienced a significant decline. In fact, the fluctuations in the gold price have reflected a myriad of factors that I would like to discuss in detail. So why don't you elaborate on each of these factors? We can delve into an in-depth discussion about them, okay? Sounds good. Yes, absolutely. I completely agree. In fact, I think it has a lot to do with the current market conditions we are witnessing. Although the United States government has not yet officially announced any major actions or decisions, it has been reported that former President Donald Trump has indeed approved a military attack on Iran, which could significantly affect geopolitical dynamics and investor sentiment.
However, he hasn't placed the order yet. This is what the Wall Street Journal reported, and I also observed Burberry's recent activities today. Both sources mentioned this situation. In theory, the United States requires authorization from Congress to officially declare war. At least that is what I understand, but of course the current Republican-controlled Congress faces relatively little opposition or resistance in such matters. This could impact how decisions are made moving forward. I'm unsure of the exact method you're referring to, but you initially mentioned that it's free to pump water, so allow me to explain my thoughts first. Are you okay with that? Please follow along with me. Although I don't possess extensive knowledge about the complexities of the world wars and the various conflicts on Earth, I am curious about how the Earth rotates. Are you aware that revolution and rotation are distinct concepts, and it's fascinating to note that they both apply to our planet?
Turn to your side and let's do a quick test on your orientation skills. Move to the left and think about whether you're turning clockwise or counterclockwise. Counterclockwise it is. Yes, you truly know me well. I'm currently studying information systems. That's precisely it. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. I'm not even sure what is called nowadays anymore.
Department of IS Teacher Science. I have discovered some interesting information regarding the ongoing situation in the region. In fact, there is a significant and deep-seated feud between the two countries, specifically Israel and Iran. Moreover, it is evident that there are very few compromises or peaceful agreements between Iran and other nations in the Middle East. As a result, the only neighboring countries you typically see in discussions are Jordan and Syria.
Hey Jordan, it's not Saudi Arabia, sorry. Jordan and Saudi Arabia allowed their airspace to be used, including for Israel. When Iran launched missiles aimed at Tel Aviv, a major city in Israel, Jordan received assistance to effectively intercept those missiles and mitigate the threat posed by the aggression.
So in fact, the war in the Middle East is not a religious war now.
It's not solely due to my casual conversation with my colleagues today. In fact, everything seemed fine at that moment. But why did things suddenly escalate into such a chaotic mess? This confusion has been ongoing for several days now. No, actually they are not truly angry. The relationship between the two parties is not good at all. In fact, it is quite tense. So why are these two locations, or I should say entities, suddenly stirring up trouble? It is an urgent situation. Iran has stated that there is a potential opportunity to develop nuclear weapons. Yes, I did not misunderstand that statement. It is because of this concerning incident that things have become so chaotic and disordered now. That's the situation at hand. Gary mentioned that there will be good shows to watch in the Middle East tonight.
There is nothing good about it. It's not significant since there are two countries involved.
No, there are indeed many countries that you might prefer to remain silent on certain issues. For instance, the United States might choose to keep its opinions to itself. I experienced a bout of diarrhea last week, and that was only 5 days ago, yes. So I came out here to share my thoughts. Yes, it will definitely have an impact on the U.S. stock market, but it is more convenient to say for our Hong Kong stocks that the impact on the United States does not seem to be that big. Do you think so? Hey, it got bigger, yes. It truly feels like Bitcoin has become much bigger and more influential. Bitcoin is currently valued at $104. The total amount is 100,040,040. In reality, this figure represents a relatively small sum that has been returned. We can proceed to open Beverly and examine the details further. Regardless, we have already discussed this matter. Therefore, I would conclude that it appears to significantly affect the US market, but not the Hong Kong stock market. What are your thoughts regarding the current state of the Hong Kong stock market? Hello, it's dropping by more than 400 points. Do you think it's really related to the war? What's the point?
The investment climate is poor. I will discuss it.
Well, yes, the investment atmosphere is weakening now. Didn't you feel anything when we started?
I began by stating that nearly everyone may have encountered this particular aspect of Russia, and with this coverage, everyone should possess some degree of immunization or awareness.
Let me put it this way, it's actually quite strange that you are behaving like this. However, now you can clearly see that China is secretly providing support to Iran in a manner that might not be immediately obvious to everyone. There were several reports indicating that a number of planes originating from China had flown to Iran, including some transport aircraft. However, shortly after these news reports were made public, those planes withdrew from their destination. In the end, they returned safely to their original location. Okay, in addition to previous points, China actually provides vocal support for Iran in terms of diplomatic speeches and endorsements. Furthermore, China has been consistently counterattacking the G7 nations in recent days. The G7 has been vocal in criticizing China's so-called mafia-like policies, trade practices, and more. In fact, it is becoming increasingly evident that China and Western countries are drifting further and further apart, highlighting the growing geopolitical tensions between these two distinct blocs. Yeah, this is not surprising. This is coming from the same direction as before. However, if you introduce a catalyst, such as the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel, the result will be that certain negative emotions will become significantly amplified, leading to a situation where many individuals and groups will react similarly, intensifying the overall conflict dynamics.
Actually, I firmly believe that the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran will not directly result in a significant decline in the Hang Seng Index. Instead, I think the overall investment atmosphere is gradually returning to a more stable and positive state. The second point to consider is that, as we all witnessed earlier this year, there was widespread concern regarding trade relations and their potential impact on the market. This apprehension has somewhat eased, contributing to a more optimistic outlook among investors.
They were increasingly worried that the United States' more aggressive and protectionist trade policies would lead to their investment funds flowing away to Europe and Asia. However, now, things are gradually settling down, and this capital is beginning to flow back into the US stock market, indicating a positive shift in investor confidence. This change reflects a growing belief in the stability and potential growth of the American market amidst the evolving global economic landscape. Actually, this situation can be explained quite clearly. We can analyze it from one perspective, specifically focusing on the US dollar index. Notably, you can observe that the US dollar index has returned to a state of stability in recent days. Additionally, the US stock market is showing signs of strength. It seems that we are witnessing a gradual flow of funds returning to the market. In this situation, there is a chance that Q3 will continue to fall. So you see that the Hong Kong stock market is weak. Well, you first said at the beginning that oil prices are strong again. The oil prices are strong due to the heavy industry war, yes. Well, if it is so traditional, why is the price of gold not strong?
Yes, I do.
Actually, it is strange, yes? This is because the US dollar is weak.
Oh, yeah.
But it's you, sorry. This is because the US dollar is gradually getting stronger. The US dollar is gradually getting stronger.
A weak US dollar leads to higher gold prices.
Yes.
Certainly! Here's the expanded text. However, I firmly believe that due to various geopolitical factors influencing the global economy, the price of gold has established a rising trend that is likely to continue increasing in the foreseeable future. Observing the significant and dramatic rise in gold prices has prompted my mother to express her desire to marry off her daughter sooner rather than later.
Hey, what about getting married again? Ha 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 ha. It doesn't make sense. Ha ha ha. Getting married again. No, I just wanted to use the gold at the beginning to cash it out and then wait for it to come back and buy gold bars first and then wait for the gold price to go back up. Let's read the comments first. Yes. No, that's it. So that's it. I find it quite strange, yet you have just clearly explained my ongoing problem. In fact, the US dollar has begun to strengthen recently. Moreover, the Federal Reserve has already announced that it will maintain the interest rate this evening at a range of 4.25% to 4.5%. If that information is indeed correct, it could have significant implications. The market conditions suggest that the situation is not favorable, which is a positive outcome. I'm curious why you believe he made that statement, especially given the current chaotic situation. With so much going on, why wouldn't people care about raising interest rates?
This is very obvious. Have you seen the market? You saw that the market reaction in the evening was actually negative, right?
The dot plot, however, still indicates that there will be 2 interest rate cuts implemented in the remainder of this year. I sincerely hope that this favorable trend does not reverse course. Currently, it's projected to occur 3 times, with 2 to 3 rate cuts anticipated, along with the possibility of 2 or more additional cuts, and that seems to be the extent of it. Regarding the US stock market tonight, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is actually showing signs of a downward movement, which is noteworthy. The Hong Kong stock market is currently among the best semi-new stocks globally, with values around 42,000 to 42,300. Despite any concerns this evening, I will continue to monitor its performance as it remains significant in the world of stocks today. I don't want to talk about Shandong Molong, but it's too small. This one is really too small. Will it be exposed? Because I'm good. Is there anything you want to talk to me about, whether there is 100 billion or not? That's not the way to say it, because actually Shandong Molong's recent ranking is vague. That is, this one is 5 or 600. It's about 5 or 600, but it has dropped a little today, but it increased by several percent a few days ago. It was 5 or 600 at first, I was not mistaken. It increased by several percent, but is it that much? So there is one. I clamped it up 7.5 times. Then I told some stock friends, let's see what you buy, ha ha ha. But the trend chart looks weird. I don't like to speculate on wine, etc. So I didn't say anything because its market value is actually just a small price of 400 to 300 million. In terms of market value, it's really the whole world. If you have it, you can cover it up first. If you don't cover it up, I won't be able to do anything. However, today there is indeed one particular stock that I personally own. It is a relatively obscure stock valued at approximately 1.3 billion. I would like to clarify this information. Is this accurate?
The total market value is 1.3 billion, with estimates ranging from 500 to 600 million. What does this signify?
1.4 billion is 1.4 billion, yet it seems to me like it's 4.3 billion. Why is that? You may be calculating A shares, okay, then the content will be calculated more and more detailed.
That's right, because A shares and H shares are always two different pools.
Well, but because this one was just a current market value stock when I played with it before, it looked the same as SCARS, so I didn't pay attention to it. I'm afraid I won't track it anymore. It's better to pay attention to these high-priced stocks. Actually, there are two stocks I want to talk to you about today. The first one is 1810. There are always profits. Recently, it's been impossible to overlook the developments in the tech world, especially since Lei Jun has publicly discussed the specifications of the YU7. He provided insights into the innovative CATL motor battery, highlighting its features and potential impact on the industry. It boasts an impressive range of 835 kilometers. Have you taken the time to read the car regulations, including all the specifications? If not, I suggest you read them carefully and pay attention.
Oh, I haven't heard it like you.
Okay, you are not that good. What is it? It's the length, width, and height. Do you need to be particularly big? How much does it weigh? I want to know how much it weighs. Is it really that big? No, it doesn't matter. Okay, how long is it? How long is it? How long wide and high is it? I think 5 meters is just enough to fit into the parking lots in Hong Kong. Come on. No, to pass the parking lot, you have to look at the height in Hong Kong. The height is very high, 49989, 5 meters, no, 160, 1.6 meters.
Oh, that's right. 7.6 is very nearly the same as my score.
The height is 1/600 millimeter to me. The height is okay. What's the concept? It's about as long as an Alpha. A little longer than an Alpha, which is an Alpha. A Toyota 7-seater car is a little longer than an Alpha. The width is about the same as an Alpha and about the same as a Tesla Model Y.
Well, it's approximately 2 meters wide in total. The height of the structure is approximately 1.6 meters. Most parking lots are indeed incorporated into this system. However, I haven't yet discussed how much it actually costs. Alright, I realize I haven't covered that aspect.
The typical tire size for Tesla vehicles is 275, while some models may feature a standard size of 255. However, opting for thicker tires can be beneficial. Thicker tires can improve traction and stability, yet they also lead to increased energy consumption, resulting in higher fuel or electricity usage and potential waste.
The more he digs in.
Yes, that's it.
That is to say the system is safe. This system can be said to be safe.
Hey there, the control system is significantly improved, so this feels a bit like boasting. Alright. Regarding the other taillights, I realize that many of you might not find that particularly interesting. Most of you are more focused on whether the design looks appealing or not, how long the battery lasts, or if it includes a luxurious massage chair inside, yes, with a 10-point style for ultimate comfort.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. What exactly do you mean by that? It's not just the impressive 141-liter super large electric front trunk that we're discussing. I'm referring to the one right in front of you, the trunk itself. Yes, I mean the trunk. However, let's take a closer look at the high-performance version. It boasts a maximum horsepower of an astonishing 690 PS, and it can achieve 0 to 100 km acceleration in just 3.23 seconds. In reality, all these features are fundamentally similar.
Let's meet at the Model Y performance.
Yes.
The battery life is 7 to 60, which is a big number. Yes, that's right, but I want to know how strong it is. Is it sharp or not? Here, its battery life is 96.3 to be exact. Is that correct?
Or lithium batteries.
The old disk showed a temperature of 96.3 degrees kWh, indicating the lithium iron phosphate battery type. I have previously mentioned that electric vehicles commonly use two types of batteries, with lithium iron phosphate being the primary one. The second type is ternary lithium. Ternary lithium is nickel, cobalt, manganese. Let's put it aside first. High performance cars use nickel, cobalt, manganese, and usually some cars that need daily use, or cargo and daily use that need long range cars, use iron chlorine batteries. That's because it's more stable and safer. Okay, so what exactly does a temperature of 96.3 degrees mean? The Tesla Model Y has a temperature of 75 degrees, which is about 20 degrees higher than a standard Tesla. Let's not be overly concerned about its durability. Instead, let's focus on its impressive capacity. Clearly, it offers 1/3 more power compared to a Tesla vehicle. It's expected to have a longer battery life, but is there a downside? Remember that everything in a truck is traded off. A heavier car results from thinking it's up, making the charging system heavy. Yes. The added weight decreases battery life, prompting the manufacturer to reduce space for electricity storage. The car manufacturers are constantly trying to balance these positions. Yes. The result is a relatively large amount of electricity. I seek a reasonable amount of space and extended battery life in a car. While the weight of the car is important, it has its own characteristics, and I may take it into account when making a decision.
Because if you speak too lightly, the sun will actually set westward after crossing Tingma Bridge.
The stability and drifting behavior of a car are influenced by its center of gravity. Electric cars typically do not drift because their center of gravity is positioned low, unlike older vehicles where the center of gravity is higher. Generally speaking, cars with inline 4-cylinder engines will make the car drift, so your horizontally opposed engine is more valuable. Well, I won't tell you. If you look at it this way, the result is that the car is crazy or heavy and there are some disadvantages. The handling will be affected. You see that 0 now? Wow, isn't it the performance version where my 0-100 acceleration is so fast? Max version, it's not that its formula 3.23 seconds is very fast, it's this, that is very fast. But remember, there is a number called momentum, which we call rate in Chinese.
Speed can be understood as the product of an object's velocity and its mass. To illustrate, consider a car. The greater its velocity and the more substantial its mass, the significantly higher its overall speed will be. This relationship highlights the impact both factors have on the car's ability to move rapidly.
Yeah, okay. We have a preliminary idea about this issue. However, it feels a bit too rough and too fast to brake effectively, or the inertia becomes too great each time you attempt to turn a corner. Well, yes, it will indeed make you more cautious and careful when taking a turn. It's more detailed. To give you a helpful hint, your hanging requirements will likely be higher than expected. The physics department is highly regarded for its quality and overall excellence. However, it is important to note that Lei Jun is indeed a master of marketing, and he will skillfully present all the key numbers you truly care about to you. Yes.
But the one you just talked about in terms of computing power is actually the standard version. But if the mass version should be Sanyuan, then it would be more powerful if Baidu added it because it is Tesla.
I always mention Tesla because it is relatively common and you have a concept of it. If it is an entry-level version of Tesla, it is usually divided into 3 levels. For the entry-level version, it uses lithium iron phosphate. Hey, regarding the 2 versions of the battery, one is designed for long-range use and the other focuses on performance. Both utilize ternary lithium technology.
Yes, no, that's not the main reason you returned to discuss things with me. Today's market is actually quite stable overall. It hasn't really fallen that much, has it? No, to be completely honest, I think it's actually okay. It serves as just a reminder, and it aligns with what was discussed in his press conference. While the price itself was not explicitly mentioned, it certainly leaves some room for interpretation and imagination regarding potential costs. He said something very intriguing, which piqued my interest and made me want to learn more about the topic he was discussing. It was a thought-provoking statement that seemed to carry a deeper meaning, prompting me to reflect on its implications and how it might relate to my... But regardless of whether it's you or someone else, it's nearly the same.
Admission fee for SU7?
Approximately 210,000, I believe.
Is it 10,000 more costly?
Oh, the 23.
Okay, the 23rd, 24th, or 25th recently. Okay, the 25th, I guess. No, the entry-level version will not... I think the entry-level version and the performance version will not be expensive, because how much does your Tesla performance version sell for? 3 is not the 3-digit version sold in mainland China.
Oh, you mustn't be more expensive than Tesla. You can't do that. But it's all 20 degrees when it comes to being photogenic. Yes, 20 degrees. Wow, it's a bit too much. Maybe the price will be reduced again. There's a chance.
The SU7 might indeed have more gifts or benefits to offer, but due to the current political climate, it's possible to simply reduce the offerings, and that would likely be acceptable. The significant rise in stock price following the release of SU7 has drawn everyone's attention towards YU7. As an investor, my primary focus would be on analyzing its gross profit margin, as it is a crucial indicator of the company's financial health and overall profitability. The focus should be on the production line's operation, capacity, and delivery status rather than on subjective aspects like the car's aesthetics or performance. As investors, it's essential to evaluate how to effectively use or expand the production line without getting distracted by personal opinions about the vehicles themselves. We need to look at the market in every way.
Well, yes, there are always a lot of new products and new product launches coming soon, but I am not interested in those new products. Instead, I am interested in their cars.
New product inquiries?
His iPad. Actually, it's important to clarify that this device is not a tablet called iPad. Instead, it is the second tablet featuring the advanced Metaverse Year 1 chip. They are themselves.
He's proud but has no real interest. I'm discussing Xiaomi's home appliances and would like to know your thoughts.
He sells not just in Hong Kong, where many sponsor his home appliances, but also in Singapore and Guangdong. There are numerous sponsors, and I find it frustrating to question the significance of this. The channel is inserted with 2 feet.
As you all know, Singapore uses the same triangular plug as Hong Kong. The British-style triangular plug has flat pins, but this is Singapore, not Xiaomi. There are electrical appliances in Singapore, even a fan, use 2-pin plugs and you use an adapter. It's like the salesperson teaching you because we say, hey, but you don't have 2 of us, so how can you get another salesperson to teach you?
You can find a holder for the waterline microphone and insert it.
There is no electricity in the waterline, but it is unreasonable. No salesperson in Hong Kong will be brave enough to teach you everything.
There are 3-legged items for sale in Hong Kong.
Why not search? Why not go there when the channel provides?
Yes, I don't know. How do you know? It's really not the end. Maybe it's Hong Kong. Maybe it's Hong Kong that changed the plug-in first. You don't know, is it?
Even if it's an OEM product, there's still a possibility of issues because Hong Kong has specific laws. If you don't purchase your electrical appliances properly, they won't pass inspection from the Electrical and Mechanical Engineering Department.
Buy a tripod. If that is the case, Xiaomi appears to have a physical store located in the UK. What types of products does it actually sell there?
Selling and planning items?
I have no knowledge about him.
You could attribute the issue to the imperfections found within Singapore's legal system. What happens if the law simply doesn't allow for it? I'm unfamiliar with the regulations regarding electrical appliances in Singapore.
But it is definitely illegal in Hong Kong. If you go to sell 2 plugs with a fan, you will definitely not be able to get through the Memorial Engineering Office. Okay. It turns out that the only Xiaomi store in the UK has acquired the brand in 2020. That is, it has been closed and is only sold online. That's it. You can patiently wait and see what unfolds. No, that's correct. The trend from 1810 comes first. Since it's nearly the end of the month, they will announce the new price and hold another detailed press conference at the month's conclusion. The other one I want to tell you about is, have you noticed? Did you know that the 380 that was rising higher and higher has dropped back now? It's not today. Everything is normal today. Only the bubble motor has taken the opportunity to come back once. Okay, don't buy it. It's coming back once so that you can buy it. In fact, it was 380 at first. It's a business and people do it. What exactly is an IPO or initial public offering in the world of business? Recently, there has been a significant surge in the number of IPOs lined up for market entry. I would like to discuss the IPO forum as it has become increasingly relevant today. Numerous IPOs are on the horizon, and I noticed some exciting ones approaching quickly. Just recently, Deloitte announced a substantial increase in the total fundraising target for Hong Kong IPOs, which caught my attention. At the conclusion of the previous year, specifically at the end of 2024, analysts had originally projected that the fundraising efforts in 2025 would reach a maximum of $150 billion. However, given that the current fundraising channel is underperforming, they have now had to increase the target to an ambitious $200 billion. Additionally, Adelaide mentioned that there are currently 170 reported cases of concern in Hong Kong. Currently, there are more than 5 companies that have successfully raised at least $1 billion through their initial public offerings, IPOs. In fact, this year has seen a notable number of such companies, including prominent names like CATL and Haitian Flavor Industry. However, it is worth mentioning that they all belong to the same category, which can be likened to soy sauce in terms of their market or product focus.
Well, it broke the initial issue price today, but I believe it should be able to hold on to the IPO price in the long term. I suppose it all depends on how successful its listing ceremony turns out to be. I mean, since Meitian is well known and quite popular in Foshan, and Haitian is indeed beautiful, I think that gives it a good chance. I also looked into its management team, and I heard that they are quite skilled at speaking Mandarin fluently, which is an important asset for communication. I'm curious about its friendliness. What do you think?
He is from Cantonese, so he must know Cantonese. Just like you think, yes, okay, I don't know the management, but yes, you listen to his listing speech, he should actually know Cantonese.
Well, because I was also genuinely quite surprised, actually, the oversubscription of this particular offering was incredibly exaggerated, amounting to more than 900 times, right? Yes, you should go out after eating, but no, today you have to eat. Why do I follow you so much? Is there any way to say that I follow you so much? You keep following me, but I can still hold on today. It is maintained above the closing price. It is always so big. There are always some supporters. It is always so big. Everyone really has some supporters. There must be some funds. The real leader in the mainland is the channel leader, which is equal to the free channel. The mainland's Limeji is equal to I remember that some audiences said last time Now, in fact, 388 should be back in a stable position. Before, people said that no one could monopolize the market of 388. To effectively replace its existing business model, which option is truly the best choice in reality?
Discuss the business model.
Because they can easily stick to the mainland, they primarily rely on IPOs to sustain their livelihood. In terms of business model, all your exchanges are eating barbecue food. I mean, Hong Kong, sorry, it's only Hong Kong. Okay, can you say that?
Hong Kong. But the problem is that when you buy ads and use our app, you don't just buy Hong Kong. Yes. So from your perspective, it is not a unique market. It does not have a unique model. Its advantages are actually all innate, and its situation is like being KO'd in reincarnation.
What kind of inherent qualities does this person possess? I believe the innate advantage lies in the fact that it is the sole stock exchange operating in Hong Kong. The reason behind these developments is that the mainland authorities are providing them to you. Imagine a wealthy child whose father is extremely angry with someone and, as a result, feels trapped in a situation because he fears losing all his wealth and privilege. Consequently, he decides to leave the difficult circumstances for his child to navigate and handle. However, I have some reservations about whether this child is truly equipped for such a challenge, or if he possesses any admirable qualities that would allow him to deal with this complex situation effectively. There are many such rich kids on the earth, the ones we call the second generation of rich people or the second generation rich. Many exist in this world, don't you think? It's not just one.
Others also eat it, not just you.
However, at this point in time, there are indeed numerous IPOs that are being thoroughly reviewed, and all of these are backed by domestic funds. Domestic companies have successfully passed through this process.
Hey, you international people in Singapore have very few of your look suits. You all want to leave, you all want to leave, you don't want to leave.
Do you remember there was also a laser? I've forgotten the number twice and don't remember it. Things have melted again.
Well, I was walking down the street in Singapore a few days ago, and suddenly I saw a laser specialty store. I suddenly thought, hey, Hong Kong used to have laser, and it was very popular and sought after by many people. Yes. Even those game players actually like laser very much. They will be very happy, even if you give them a pat on the back.
Now it seems that there is truly no coherent system left in the vast galaxy. The once thriving market is now half diminished. Essentially, there are simply too many items available for sale, and purchasing luxury brands like LV feels unnecessary. Is your brand here among the rest? Yes, indeed, you are LV, my friend. Why choose LV?
Yes, big handles, big handlebags, brands. What about brands? Yes, but no, now the IPO craze is very strong. Just now, it was said that Haitian flavor industry raised 11.6 billion. Hey, there is another interesting car, and there is also a coconut water brand from Thailand called QQ. Which one is it? Kikirui? Oh, it's QQ. I thought you were talking about the coconut water brand. It's a Thai coconut water brand. They said they gave up Singapore and moved to Hong Kong. They felt that they had confidence in the Hong Kong market. It's no fun. Where would they go? If they come to Hong Kong from Singapore, they will definitely choose Hong Kong.
Certainly. Here's the expanded text. Yes, that is, if you are indeed referring to a new stock listing, unless you possess any significant personal BIS or possess compelling political motivations, perhaps due to your unscrupulous father from back then. Yes, I absolutely must sign up for a thorough check. I must ensure a return, as it was in 97. So yes, I must definitely sign up for the opportunity in Singapore. Well, you know this stuff. I know, no. Yes.
We are quite familiar with all of these well-known brands, including Hong Kong Line, Welcome Dairy Farm, and Maxim's, all of which are publicly listed in Singapore.
He doesn't have a Singapore-based company.
But now people always say that all the funds are flowing back to Asia, especially Hong Kong, because it was really too popular before. Regardless of the epidemic and the valuation channels in the previous period, the valuation of our Hong Kong stocks is too low. Do you agree with this statement about our Hong Kong stocks? I agree.
However, at the same time, when they trade off, their volatility tends to be significantly large.
Remember, although your current PE is in single digits, your volatility is in more than 20%. It is really big. You have to take risks to get rich.
However, the stock price has also attracted a lot of funds. It is not just a rest. For example, imagine you are an individual investor with 10 million when you retire. It is not surprising that many people have 10 million in cash when they retire, right?
It's not surprising because when I looked at the real estate today, I didn't know whether it was a good deal or not. They said that most Hong Kong people now have tens of millions of dollars to buy houses for us.
Oh, it's true. It's true. If you really spend 10 million, you don't have to buy a house. You buy it and collect dividends at 6%, which makes 600,000 a year. You can earn 600,000 yuan a year, 50,000 yuan a month, and you can retire at 50,000 yuan a month. You may also want a house in the park. Well, in fact, many people just want to take a break. They have no motivation to talk to you about whether the stock price of these people is high or not. It is not a matter of concern to them. Well, that's right. The Hong Kong stock market now attracts a lot of people, but since they have to live in Hong Kong, do you want them to pay attention to the US stock market?
He is indifferent to the US stock market's potential inheritance tax, questioning its relevance since the market offers few dividends.
If you were to confidently say that, you could probably just consider buying Casa's Model 3466.
Absolutely, yes. These innovative products are specifically designed for various channels, and they are also extremely appealing and visually attractive.
Domestic funds seek interest-bearing products and benefit from reliable buying channels, allowing them to purchase investments with confidence and peace of mind.
Well, to rest assured about them, first of all, I need to know what the company does. I need to have heard of this company and know this brand. And thirdly, they have to sell everything in a completely compliant and legal manner so that you can buy a bunch of Hong Kong stocks through the Hong Kong Stock Connect, right?
The Hong Kong Stock Connect will distribute dividends and their share prices remain strong.
Well, so apart from these currently favored rest stocks, investors have been keenly looking forward to the upcoming IPO market of Hong Kong stocks with great anticipation recently. In fact, some experienced seniors advised me quite some time ago that if you want to effectively gauge the first, second, and third bull markets, you should closely examine the IPO market in addition to paying attention to the trending penny stocks. To clarify, if there are certain companies or specific investment funds that are eager to generate profits in the vibrant Hong Kong IPO market, particularly when the market is experiencing a significant boom, then it is definitely worth considering this lucrative opportunity. Would you agree that this situation holds value? Absolutely, it certainly does count.
You want my thoughts on others' comments?
No, it's just that I think you will agree with me on this point. I believe it's quite reasonable. I understand, Hero, because there are certain things that our seniors mentioned in the past. Well, I often tease you about these matters, but it's not that the seniors are merely bragging about you. In fact, you are doing similar things. However, what I really want to emphasize is that today we will engage in a discussion with you about several upcoming IPOs that are quite significant. PO is this. Recently, it appears that most people in the queue mentioned that, apart from Haitians, the individuals who left with Chow Chow seem to attract more attention and are more eye-catching than others.
Hello, my colleague said that no one is sitting here and no one is calling. Can they tell me, hey, it's from the mainland? Yes, but should it be true or not? You can call Didi first. I will definitely call it through the map, Gaude. I will call it through the Gaude map. That is, if there is a car, just call that car, and then I will call it if I have heard of this name, and I will call it if I have heard of Chow Chow.
Oh, just try out any car you have at your disposal and see which options are available for you. Take whichever one is deemed the most important for your needs. However, my colleague mentioned that if it's not me making the decision, I won't be making the call. Perhaps Chow Chow may not be as exceptional as I am, but Chow Chow is indeed a well-known and reputable channel under Geely Group, which is a prominent Chinese online car-hailing platform.
Is that true? But Chow Chow Travel, do you have any GAC cars? I want to ask, is it from their platform? Because it doesn't matter what car you have, as long as you can make any car you want, you can play with it, but this is very strange. Why? I don't know. Actually, Didi is like this, I know it, but Didi is not a car manufacturer. Isn't it that Chow Chow has Geely behind it? Yes. It's actually a bit strange. I think if it is like this, will it be Geely? I don't know if it's just that I just feel weird. It's similar to renting a car during your trip to Japan. If every single car you receive happens to be a Nissan, wouldn't you find that quite unusual and unexpected?
There are two companies present here.
I've never been like that before, but this is the key point. I'm not a bad student, not at all. Cool, yes. But what I want to say is that he has temporarily recorded a 1.2 billion marwar, the oversubscription is 5.4 times, and the entry fee for one lot is $4,236. Allow me to take a moment to promote some advertisements here first. In fact, you can simply purchase our 8 mobile apps, which include the WIN and other trading applications. If you happen to be a new customer, you're eligible to receive some enticing cash discounts and stock cash incentives. Honestly, I believe this is quite beneficial for you. Let's not discuss the discounts just yet, as they are exclusively ours to offer.
No interest is charged on your balance, which is beneficial for you. However, if you don't draw doubles, then interest will indeed be applied. You turn around and find that the entire group consists of all 4 balls. You receive a total of 40,000. Naturally, you can achieve about 90%, nearly 90%, as now the entire world is structured this way, and you end up with 40,000.
Hey, you, me, we're just gonna give you 404 balls, 4 balls for you without any interest and just a handling fee.
But I will give it back to you later. It's worth it. Actually, it's really worth it.
Because I remember before when he was teaching me how to draw IPO. He said, you should light it up when you draw it. He told me to light it up a little bit. Yeah. To be honest, it might be a few. That is, if you draw it with a big hand, it might be a few dollars. In fact, it doesn't make sense if you draw it carefully, because you draw it carefully.
It's challenging to express my thoughts because many people are smoking now and I'm unsure of the convenience. I hesitate to voice my concerns since you're complicating my double expansion, which isn't sufficient. It seems you prefer others to interfere with it, so why not have our boss address it directly? I lend without interest but borrow back with interest.
The finance department charged me interest, but I'm not greedy. But no, everyone is doing it alone, that's all, because there are some discounts recently, and our banner, there is a QQ, and there is some information you can pay attention to. Open it. If you are interested, please talk to me. But this is a company called Chow Travel that is raising funds through IPO. I want to raise this one, not open it. Do you have a can? I definitely have one. Wow, you have a can. Of course you do.
Hey there! If you are not one of our colleagues and you decide to open a card with us, and then you inform us that it was the sales associate who introduced you to our services, then I will receive some additional discounts as a thank you for the referral.
You definitely have it. Yes, everyone has it. Absolutely everyone has it. Yes. So please don't make a fuss about it and don't risk losing out on this opportunity. That's right. If someone asks me about it due to your situation, I must inform you that I don't have a discount available. You unfortunately don't have a discount code, so you can't access it, you can't get it.
I have an exclusive discount code just for you, my viewers. It might be valid until 2027, so why not take the first step and open an account? Feel free to send us an email saying, hey SA, I'd like assistance with opening an account.
Okay, you can send it to the SA.
Hey, inbox. Everyone's inbox. Inbox has to be PM. Remember not to say this publicly. It's you. As long as I recognize you and your introducer, everyone will be happy. I think it's right, so you can get it back alone. But I don't remember how much. I don't have the information on hand.
You can take a look at this note link. Any amount is fine. Don't let him lose money. Is it more than that? It seems to be at most 8. Oh, yes, it is at most 8. Wow, yes, the money is here. It's silly to introduce it. How about that? Yes, you should give me some commission. How about that? That is to say the introducer will get it. Haha, I'm not telling you. Can you say this first? Chow is going out.
I usually don't engage with my slanderers, but I see you doing it, boss.
Please update me briefly. Chow is leaving. Its first-hand entry fee is actually around $4,000. Because there are many IPOs today, I want to tell you, yes, it has raised 1.85 billion yuan. In fact, the current margin has already recorded 1.2 billion yuan. You can start drawing today from the 17th to the 20th.
That is which one sounds like a Japanese saying, but in fact it could explode at any minute. Haitian exploded by 900 times, and 18 billion is only 10 times.
18 billion is indeed 10 times more than many typical investments, so isn't it worth considering? This particular vehicle is also branded under Geely, which adds to its appeal. While it may pique your interest, I might not select it as my top preference. If your hesitation stems from its size, which feels neither large nor small, I can understand why it might not excite you. Interestingly, it has also formed a collaboration with Benz, enhancing its credentials further.
That's what I'm doing, but I think it's neutral. I think I can withdraw. Yes, but I have a question. Actually, the online car-hailing industry in mainland China is quite fierce now. That's right, the competition is very fierce. You have been to mainland China. I don't think you would go to take the subway. No, I want you to go with your family. Take the subway. No, my family doesn't know how to do that. But my sister and brother and I take the subway. The 3 of us all call a taxi. It's okay to take the subway. Anyway, it's only $2, but you must have experience of calling a taxi. If you call a taxi, it will definitely be very fast. Very fast.
It's everyone here. What seems to be the matter or issue today?
More cars are coming soon.
Hey, yes, it's not the same thing as being so proud of it. In fact, if you spend a little more money, you can get some nice cars. It's pure, even purer. Yes, and then the passing time will feel faster.
Oh, what?
For example, if you are waiting for a cheap car, you may have to wait for 8 minutes. I seldom wait for a cheap car because it is too peaceful. Okay. Hello, how much is your car? You go and add $10 more. It's just an extra $20. But I'm a poor guy, so you ask him for help. That's what I mean. $5, $10, or something in that general range, but I feel that there is a hint of daydreaming involved. For example, this particular item resembles Mama's, yet this one is distinct. I want to emphasize that Zhou Liufu is only preparing for its initial public offering IPO, and I have already informed my colleagues that Zhou Liufu has the potential to be listed again in the future, but as of now, that is not the case. His A-share listing was rejected a while ago because people suspected that his income was fake. A-shares were not accepted. Why did A-shares suspect him? Is it possible that he was listed in Hong Kong? Maybe he did something wrong. Let me ask you directly. What do you want to ask me?
Hey, actually almost everyone seems to know about Zhou Liufu. I personally think it's quite decadent and rather disappointing, really.
Let's discuss this topic further. From an investment perspective, the new stocks available in terms of supply and demand dynamics are there for you to consider picking up if you find them appealing. But I think it is quite decadent to look at it from a global perspective. You are an international financial center, but in fact you are not only an international financial center. What's more, did you know that 9999 gold is a standard of purity that has been established in Hong Kong? The gold purchased in Hong Kong is renowned for having the highest purity levels in the entire world. It's interesting to note that this city was once considered a prestigious destination for gold. However, now there are numerous counterfeits circulating in the market. Are you curious to find out more? They typically use a variety of tactics to deceive buyers, you know?
You should be a big shot, but you don't care about it. You didn't collect more than $2,000. Is it $2,000 per piece? Collect 11.1 billion. 11 billion. Yes. But I am interested in this one. I am interested in it. I don't know if I can tell the truth. Yes, this is just me. The boss's lack of involvement allows me to speak the truth freely. I can't say for certain whether his company was involved in the situation or not, but I just had a strong feeling that it was indeed a shoot, and that's all there is to it. Oh, it's hard to say. Let me tell you first. I'm not interested. Boss, I am interested because he is interested in smoking, because he is crazy enough. He is crazy enough. But he is the one who is a copycat. That's how I should say sorry. Hey, are you shameless enough?
System. Acknowledged. I'll set aside emotions for the moment. Yes, indeed.
Well, the lawsuit certainly presents a significant risk. Yes, they were sued by both Channel and Cardiac. They filed their case against them for trademark infringement, but the issue stemmed from events that occurred last year. As soon as I completed the lawsuit process, I decided to leave.
I find myself with nothing significant to say regarding stocks. Yes, he is not as thin as you might think, just you.
YC expressed it clearly. What does he mean? International chicken plate hub.
I have a bit of this feeling, and I think that what I am saying is that finance is originally for raising funds. You want to pump up the valuation of big companies and sell them off. In essence, you can say it is a chicken coop, which sounds unpleasant, but it is not vulgar. There are chickens in every chicken coop.
Yes, there are egg rolls, and people will buy them, yes. In fact, you have something to produce, you have productivity, and you also have some standards that are set by everyone. They are the standards that everyone agrees on. It's a bit unlucky to say that there is a way for thieves to steal. But now it seems that nothing has been obtained, but he has made money again. Now he is a bad boy, right?
When a bad guy approaches me to ask for money, I often think that he will eventually make some cash and just walk away. So I'll patiently wait and see if I might seize the opportunity to profit alongside him and then make my own exit. Well, the personality traits of a gambler can often serve as a compelling strategy to attract interest in IPOs, or at least it seems that way. But I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on my approach and method. What do I think about your thoughts?
The statement is somewhat biased in its perspective. To clarify, I don't mean to imply that I believe there is no issue with the IPO process. My point is simply that every investor who participates in this market is ultimately motivated by the desire to earn a profit. After all, who wouldn't want to make money? However, the fundamental nature of an investment market is that all participants continually assess and evaluate each other's decisions and strategies. How can you estimate other investors in this way? The appeal of certain alluring antiques and some well-crafted, solid antiques is likely to be significantly higher, right? However, I would point out that there is currently a considerable risk, which is the issue of potential lawsuits. The reputation of these antiques has already started to decline, and there are suspicions that this decline may be linked to possible associations with several Hong Kong brands that boast a long and storied history. This situation could adversely affect their overall market value and desirability. You also want to be aware that all your designs are indeed derived from other people's well-known Chanel and Cartier trademarks. Essentially, your entire design concept is a replication of existing works by others. Being accused of copying others poses a significant risk to your potential goodwill and reputation in the market. It's crucial not to overlook this serious investment issue. I believe that Chanel is currently pursuing legal action against its franchisees for these very reasons.
It's not just about whether its head office can count on taking legal action for trademark infringement. Well, 6 franchisees. Yes, indeed, it is entirely possible that the franchisees managed to obtain their own funds and in that process appropriated Cartier's money for their own purposes, essentially copying it themselves. Additionally, you overlooked mentioning that Guo Yu actually filed a lawsuit against him back in 2019. Yes, he initiated that lawsuit in 2019 and claimed that they had acted inappropriately towards each other. It is quite shameless, to say the least. To generate profits in such a manner, one truly must exhibit a remarkable level of shamelessness at times. But this is purely my personal opinion, because they are only a few square meters. About $2,000, it's expensive. It's not called cheap. The venue fee is low. This is called low admission fee. This is not called cheap. The admission fee is low. It's just that, except for this one, Zhou Lufu, there is this one for you now. Take a moment to look closely. It has recently come into the spotlight, and many mothers are paying significant attention to it. Which specific confinement center are we discussing here? The confinement center located in mainland China is not the one in question. Rather, it pertains to a different facility. However, the confinement center known as St. Bella, which you referred to, is indeed listed in Hong Kong. It appears that this particular center is not situated on the mainland.
It's not that I personally witnessed such a thing, so I inquired of them where in the country they believe such events should occur and how many people in the country have given birth to children. How big is the demand?
No, but I want to say that there are more and more confinement centers in China now. There was only one before.
Hey, you seem like a migrant worker. You seem like a person who is lucky. What do you do? There is a plot for being lucky. Hey, you can make hot pot and seafood restaurants. Yes, you can make them, but there are some problems. Hey, I know that the people next door have just opened a room. We can use their facilities.
It's not that the current situation is just that what can your confinement center do? I question your openness. It seems to increase, but what's wrong with you?
Openings are on the rise. It's not that Hong Kong lacks fame. Rather, this particular trend has only recently made its debut in the vibrant city of Hong Kong. But the prices in Hong Kong are quite high, so it's not very cheap. How many square meters? $100,000 a month. That's a significant amount. But they allow you to reside in the charming town of Rosewood. It's Rosewood. In fact, they rented a few floors to some confinement centers. What a big company, Rosewood. Yes, they offer you an emperor-like enjoyment. They give you massages, have Chinese medicine practitioners and others to regulate your body. They will provide you with dedicated support to take care of your baby around the clock for a full month, allowing you to rest and even do some yoga. That's what the experience is truly like. This is how confinement centers in China generally operate. The one I am referring to is called Santa Bella. This brand has established its presence with stores located in Hangzhou, Shanghai, and Singapore. Yes, but does it have a significant number of stores? So far, I have only been able to locate 4 locations. However, there may indeed be many more that I am unaware of. Additionally, it boasts an extensive network comprised of 96 high-end confinement centers, which indicates a strong commitment to quality and luxury in its services.
The information now indicates more than 62 self-operated and 34 management centers. However, there is confusion regarding this. We must review the updated stock information clearly according to the prospectus.
According to the prospectus, the company has a network of 96 centers, including 62 self-operated and 34 channel management centers.
The prospectus indicates there are 72 confinement centers.
According to a comprehensive report by Evans and Sullivan, it is recognized as the largest postpartum care and recovery group across Asia and China.
Market share is only around 1 or 2%. This market is highly fragmented.
They also offer a variety of women's health foods, functional underwear, and similar products for wellness. Well, the representative stated that in the year 2024, his projected interim profit is expected to reach 17.13 million, and he also mentioned that the anticipated gross profit margin will be 34%.
The gross profit margin is lower than expected, right? I believed it was a lucrative opportunity.
The issue arises from having around 30 sounds, which might make it seem expensive. It's noted that purchasing an electric drill costs more than expected, particularly referencing a simulation rate of 6 and 69 that approximates 40 sounds.
Chuanke, which is identified by the number 669669, specializes in selling electric drills. When I compare this particular product to their offerings, I find it lacks any distinct features. It doesn't evoke any strong feelings in me. In fact, I believe the confinement center feels much more open and welcoming in comparison to this situation. But there are so many different things and the price is an issue. I don't think many mothers would be willing to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Is that right? Or maybe I just don't have any special feelings for him, so I'm not particularly interested in him. Anyway, you should say that if you can afford to wash it, you will wash it. Yes, but if you can afford to wash it, you actually have to hire someone to stay at home with you 24 hours a day.
Well, some people like Moss. That's okay with me. Okay, yes, I think you're right.
No, I am not planning to have more than one IPO. So there is just this IPO. That is the last IPO I am telling you. Yes, there is also the perfume IPO Yongtong. This one is something I already had contact with when I was a beauty editor, right? Because actually there are many of them, like Frankie and Hermes. Before I got involved in the perfume industry, I felt that there were so many people buying perfume, which seemed like it was not easy to get rich. But later, after I worked as a PR for a perfume company, I realized that for those people who really like perfume, they can actually spend tens of thousands of dollars on each order on Valentine's Day to buy some niche perfumes. In this way, they will regard it as an emotional consumption. The same symbol of personal consumption. This is a little bit unexpected for me. This one is Yongtong Holdings. It is IPO. And now the overpressure margin has been overpressured by 1.3 times. And the entry fee of 260 million is 3,414. In the next 3 years, the company plans to expand more than 100 offline stores and counters. For example, Chopard and Frankie are all their brands. Hey, their Sesame and Saturday Luck are not much different. I feel more at ease with this.
Is that right?
Sorry, just gave it.
He is a miscellaneous tooth. In fact, he is not much different from Zhou Liufu, yes. I feel happy smoking this, and it gives me a serious feeling.
So you don't like people who are too serious?
No, but do I think it's not shameless enough? He is not shameless, but he sells emotions. Okay, because people who buy perfume are usually those who really have high demands on themselves. Oh, yes, I don't know how to tell you, but this is important to talk to you now. Everyone buys perfume. Who doesn't buy it? No, I really know some people who don't buy it unless they don't wear makeup and don't have any extra calories. Yes, people who wear makeup will definitely buy it, but some people won't buy expensive perfume.
This company is my counter, right? I bought this one, and the perfume I bought is very cheap. Yes, how do I know what kind of perfume you use?
But the problem is that the perfumes under his brand now range from $30,000 to $10,000, which means he actually sells niche products for $30,000. It ranges from $300 to $10,000 because some expensive perfumes can cost over $10,000. I have tried it. I bought some sesame oil before. It was really Egyptian sesame oil. The ones using parsley are so disgusting. I really hate that smell, but they make it very fragrant, no. But I will feel dizzy and very angry when I smell it. But I think the most expensive one costs more than $2,000 for 2 ml. So there is really a market for fragrant perfume.
I don't object. I really agree with what you say. I totally agree, yeah.
You see, this fragrance series is becoming more and more popular. Why is that? How can you tell? You see that some of our intern classmates don't wear perfume. Don't go out of your way to smell them. Can you smell it? Try it first.
Yes, what boss do you have who has stinky feet? No, I won't pay special attention to it. You will smell other people's perfume in a strange way. You don't have to smell it for no reason. The purpose of perfume is to leave an iconic smell on a person's body. Yes, that's right. So, that's why I hate some dinosaur-like perfumes, some animal hormone-like perfumes, because they last longer, but they are cologne. Usually cologne. Well, its original principle is that it includes some hormones, okay? So it claims that it can stimulate the audience's relative hormones. But it's true that perfume is a very profitable industry. But you have to adjust it. The technology is not that simple. Well, you still have to adjust it.
Yes, there are bass, middle, and other notes. If not, you will be like Jennifer on Sunday. There is a smell everywhere. There are many wooden perfumes.
Obviously, this smell is like cured meat. But in fact, there is another IPO. It turns out that there are electrical appliances.
Do you think this is sharp? But the fundraising channel is only $230 million at most, which is small enough. The entry fee is $3,083. It doesn't matter. Every customer is very good. Hey, it's 4 or 6 times higher. What's that? Yes, and he told me that his clients include Walmart, Philips, and some factories in Thailand. Meh? A lamps OEM, and the factory in Thailand. They said it's urgent. No, it's not urgent. They said they have a factory in Thailand. Yes, it's cheap because for electrical appliances, if you want high quality and cheap, the only choice besides China is Thailand.
It's cheaper than China. In fact, many of Panasonic's electrical appliances that are not sold in China are made in Thailand. Well, yeah, their 3 main categories are ovens, electric heaters, blenders, and water heaters. I just don't remember which one I was going to buy. I really miss it on the 20th.
That is listening to the sun.
So actually, we have just talked about so many things today, and everyone can still go and draw. After the show, let's draw. I want to draw the new ones. No, I just want you to remember to open the account. Now we have an exclusive account opening promotion. You can enjoy double rewards of up to 800 yuan for opening an account. Here are the 2 QR songs next to it. If you are interested, now is the time to draw the new shares. You may download our Edwin Trading API and then do it. You will not lose money. First, remember that it was Sasha who introduced it. Your Sasha will introduce it to you. When you see her, you will hear her. No one will tell you. Everyone has these, but Ryan will give me this and that. If I keep my cats, how can I not have an account? Our return is this and that. Hey, our time today is really about the same. I hope that the information in this episode can help everyone successfully win the IPO. Okay, just grab our Edwin app and go to draw our next episode. It will be on Wednesday at the same time. Let's go back to Wednesday. Yes, that's it. I'll see you all on Wednesday. See you next week. Bye.